Let me check sound. Okay. Hello everyone. In this video, actually, this can be a second video, but I don't really get some. Can I say? I don't really find interesting or any information in my first video, so sorry about that. So I'm just gonna try to do another remake of my first video. So this is going to be actually 1.1. In this video, we will be talking about the bass design and chord strings and other progression in style of Böhmer. So let's begin to not make this videos longer. Okay, so what we have in here as we listen to Böhmer's song, its first intros part, which I have reference track of one of the Böhmer songs. In the first intro part, it kept really long. It's around 1 to 1:30. Let's say in some shorter version, the songs it will be around those bars with around 30 seconds with some basic intro. After that, the intro it will got some build up or some vocal build ups, something like that, to reach around 1 minute. So in the first basic intro, what we have is some really simple bass lines and some sonar effects, some sonary, or what you call it, I don't know. It's effect, it's sounds like that. How does it repeat? It's actually complementary to kick. Boom, ting, boom, ting. If you listen, something like that. So in the kick part, you need to keep your kick really short because in most of the members track, kicks actually just some complementary elements of your track, not some hit in your face element. What's the hit on your face? Chord progressions, strings, and arpeggiators is what you hit on your face. And of course, after that, it comes drums, some atmospheric sounds. Most of the time, it's some organic sounds. You can check out the Production Music Live for organic sounds. I really like that store. I don't have any sponsorship or so within the Production Music Live, so I'm just recommending that. In the bass part, what we have is I have some melodic bass design in here. It's got some vintage Lloyd style and some basic saw wave, which is a really tight frequency, and one of the frequency band is actually mapped with the LFO with some saw wave like that in the matrix, as you can see filter home. If I don't do that, you see that there's no movement, so I'm just adjusting with this saw wave to get some something like that sound. Okay, you see that, right? So saturator, I'm just trying to make my bass much more punchier. With the chorus, I'm intending to get some wider sound, and of course with the reverb too. And then I'm EQing the I don't want to get in touch with the kick or low frequencies and not really high. I'm just keeping this intro bass really simple bass line because what I'm trying to do is get the bass line in some frequency and get the high part in some frequency, and they don't clash with each other. You hear all elements in the intro. Okay, let's hear the intro. What you can do is you can do something like that too, to fill the gaps, fill those gaps. I don't want that. I don't like that, but you can do that too. Okay, so In the lead sound, what I have is some basic saw wave and some white noise, and the filter. Actually, you don't need to require some white noise. You can remove that too, because I'm filtering out very tight frequency. If you remove that, in the further parts, maybe I can adjust. For that purpose, I just leave the white noise, but you can remove that too. It's really short amplitude, and in the matrix there's nothing in it. It just has some modulation part. The amplitude is mapped with the velocity, so you see that it's really short mode it's pressing after the kick hits. And I'm using again some saturator and delay and reverb, because after the hit note I'm just trying to hear around those parts, like after then when the delay is finished, hit another note too. Just leave some space for your delay to be able to hear in the beginning. Okay, so in the kick part, I'm just for the between the intro to the drop, I'm just using some high frequencies of my kick. So then I'm just lowering it up in the automation. Okay. So after the first basic intro, what's come up with is some chord progression. Okay, in the chord progression, what I'm using is some analog sound in this lower stable. What I try to find when I found this is production music live preset, but how can you create? Let me give you the idea. I need some warmy chord progression, right? How can you create the warm in your sound, as I said in the previous videos, with saw and sine? Around those, how can I say, images, it's saw wave, something like that, okay? Right? So sine wave is something like that. Try to adjust your sine or saw wave to find what's suitable for your sound, okay? This is the key part for the designing some warm sounds. The sub and some frequencies will supported by the sine wave, and the saw wave creates some ripples, as I said in my previous video, I think the fourth video in style of animal. Create your warmth, and to get some warmness, because you can use the envelopes too to make some attack a little bit longer, because if you make your attack in the zero, you can just get down. You don't want, you just want to feel some chords, leave some space, right? So that's important. You see that right there is a huge difference. And get some adjustment with your frequency. That's the to reach out some high frequencies, okay? This is your sound design part. Use saw and sine waves. Find it in your serum. Go to your serum and just move out between those sounds and find which is sine waves. If you find sine wave, you can adjust its level, just decrease a bit or adjust a bit using the LFOs. That's the basic idea of creating some warmy chord progression, okay? Again, this whole chords will be using the same sound design, just tiny bit of adjustments. After the sound design part, I just come up with delay and reverb and some basic filter and utility if you don't find your sound is really high. I just adjust some level, so really low level, then using utility, but you can adjust it in here too if you don't have any space. Try to adjust with utility. And there is some macros too. What those macros is doing, adjusting its shape, and those shapes is actually connected to bend and WT position. What is it? It's the wavetable position. As you can see, there is all the way to positions from sine wave. Peaks are changing. In this part, what's happening here is we're getting some sine wave involved rather than just some saw wave. Okay. So let's come up to music theory part. In this part, in this music video, I'm trying to use some B minor scale. In B minor scale, this is the first note and first scale, first basic scale. And this is, if I'm just warming it up, this is the third note. But as you listen, this is, I don't like that note because it's too high, so I'm just leaving some one octave down to get some really warm, because it must be some basic part, not just too high. This part is same again. This is and this is the second note in the scale. Sorry. This is the first note, this is the third note, and this is the again first note with one octave down, and then this is the seventh note actually in the scale. So what I'm using is first, third, first, sixth. And keep going on like that. So most of the melodic techno we will be used first, fourth, sixth, and seventh. In this part, I'm using first, third, and seventh. Okay. So it's first, third, seventh, third to get some something. To create some really good pattern for your ear is always taught some notes will be steady. Okay, as you move on between your chord progression, not try to make some change in the whole notes. At the end of the sounds, just change the whole notes. It's not sound good to you. As you can see, there is two notes staying, but one note is changing. So you see that the extra bass part is changing in this part. Try to do that for your ear, because your ears will continue to hear the same pattern, but just a tiny top difference. That's good for your ear candy. Okay. So after the chord is starting, I'm just putting some string. Just Ableton stack plugin, Darkland strings. What is the? This is the B minor scale. So I'm just coming up with the first note and third and fourth and sixth. I think, sorry, fourth, fifth. I can't count. Third, fourth, fifth, yes. 1/3 and fifth. And most of Böhmer songs will be building up like that. Some bass sounds, some chords, and some strings in the intro part. After the chord progression is finished and those strings will be completed, what you come up with some chord patterns, like some RPGs did. Like do 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 chord pattern, right? Chord pattern creates some melody. So how could we do that? This is the same chord progression, but not repeats itself in some scale, not just continues to progress. So there is a trick to leave some space between your chord progression to be able to hear every chord is pressed. If you do it like that, you cannot be able to hear some pattern in this way. Let's try to do that actually and show you what I mean by that. It will go, but in this case, no. There is some huge gap and there is some shorter gaps. And in this chord progression, what I'm trying to do is adjust the velocity with the filter so that in the drop part, as I'm hitting more harder to the velocities, so the filter will be opened. And there's some white noise coming through that too, because I just have some white noise. Okay, so after the drop, I just open up the kick as I say in the beginning of the video. If you look at that part, the filter frequency will be dropped. And I just have some basic shakers and clap and some ride. And the bass design again, as I said, looks so and bass is adjusting itself. Okay. So let's see from the beginning. Not that I just come up with the second video, as I'm saying in the beginning of the video. Sorry about the first video. It's not very intensive about the Böhmer, and sounds are not really good design. I'm just trying to adjust my videos quality a little bit more, so I'll see you guys later. Have a good day.